let me tell you about a good friend of mine's named James. Okay, for the sake of this argument, I'm just gonna call him James. Now, James, he's constantly complaining about his life, right? And I'm one of those ones, I really don't want to hear the complaints, okay? But I tell James to do certain things, but this is how you know if a person really want their lives to change or if they just want to keep complaining. And Zig Ziglar said it best. He said, people who complain about their lives is not that they really want their lives to change. They want the attention from the issue that they tend to be going through. And if you come up with a solution, they can't complain about their issue to you no more. So they really don't want the solution. So my good friend James, right? I tell James, I say, listen, James, they tell me, he calls me, telling me all this stuff that's going on in his life. So I say, James, right? Because again, I don't want to hear, I'm not going to be around somebody, and I don't care who it is. It could be my own children, okay? I'm not going to be around them that keep on talking about the same exact thing, because remember, what you constantly around and constantly keep hearing, you will start thinking that about your damn self, right? Energy is contagious. And so James, I told him, I said, first of all, he had an issue with being with himself, by himself. So I said, James, what you do is you meditate, right? And he said he get all these thoughts. Okay, all right. I've been here once upon a time, ruminating, okay? So I said, James, meditate, okay? So James tried the meditation for about, I said, it could be like a low meditation, because if it's too much, you may not show up tomorrow. But James did one better, okay? He did a low meditation and still didn't show up tomorrow, okay? So I said, James, if you want your life to change, you gotta do the stuff. So he did the meditation. He would be on and off doing the meditation. And this went on for probably about 2 weeks. Don't you know, James came to me and said, the meditation don't work. When I tell you, I wanted to fight James, okay? I wanted to fight James, because I said, James, you only did this for about 2 weeks. You didn't even give yourself a chance. Okay, so that's that. James come to me again with another story. Okay. I recommend a video by Nero Knowledge, right? A great YouTuber. Honey, I be watching Nero, okay? So I was watching Nero Knowledge, and I sent James this, the video. So I said, James, hey, did you watch the video? And I said, wasn't it a good video? Now, in my mind, I said, James ain't watched this damn video. I know James ain't, because James keeps saying he want to change his life, but he don't want to put the work in, right? He just want to keep complaining about the same exact thing, but he really don't want to put the work in. So I called him back. I said, James, wasn't that video good? So he said, yeah, but the guy just kept on talking about God and Jesus Christ and all this other stuff. I said, James, did you watch that video? Yeah, I watched the video. I said, all right, James, what did the guy recommend you to do to get over that feeling of being alone, or to come to terms with being okay with being alone? What did he recommend, James? Oh, well, he recommends some stuff. I said, James, what did he recommend? Like, what was the detailed things that he recommend? He started laughing. I said, you don't want to change. Sometimes you have to stop. Sometimes you have to be really honest, with your friends and your family members, your loved one. You have to be honest and you have to say, you know what? They don't want to change. Or maybe it's not so much that they don't want to change, but maybe they just not ready for it. They could be crying. And one of the things my mentor Bob Proctor said, he said, you could be getting the same exact thing and feeling, just like, dang, with life, but you could be okay with getting the bad results that you're getting out. In the universe, there's no good or bad. But you will hear people complaining and crying and all these different things. And then you recommend something. I'm going to give you guys another parable, another story. Okay. So I remember, some of you guys know that I used to do therapy, right? And if you don't know, hey boo, okay? My name is Zena Bryant. I do inspiration videos. I probably should have said that in the intro, right? And some shopping videos and a little vegan. Okay. Well, a lot of vegan. But I remember I was going to therapy, right? And this therapist that I had, I would go to her and I would just dump everything. Whatever I was going through, I would just tell her everything, right? And I guess she became a little overwhelmed. See, some of the things sometimes we tend to think like, oh, if it's a therapist, they could understand, like they don't go through real life stuff. We sort of put them like separate or something, okay? But they go through stuff as well. So I went to this therapist, okay? And I was just telling her everything. Like you just do a mental load, I just dumped everything on her, okay? In other words, I guess subconsciously, like, you gonna hear my problem. You gonna hear this stuff that I'm going through, okay, lady? Right? And she was really, really cool. And I remember during that session, after I done told her all the stuff that appeared to be going wrong, all the stuff that, wasn't working and all these different things, I remember she looked at me and she said to me, she said, Dina, when you get like this, she was like, girl, because you telling me all of that, you got me feeling something. She said, Dina, when you get like this, what do you do? And at that time, you know what I used to do? I would sort of run from my reality. I would look at things. At that time, I would get really caught up into religion, right? At that time I was doing Nation of Islam. I was, getting caught up. Like I would watch so many videos and it almost became like I became an information junkie because I didn't want to deal with my own reality. So what I would do was I would look for things outside my existence and focus on that. And she said, Dina, I recommend you meditate. Did you ever meditate before? She should have known the answer by me just dropping everything on her. As if I meditated, chances are probably, because you could meditate and still go to therapy, but chances is I probably would never been going to her. But she said, do you ever meditate? And I said, no. And she said, they had this meditation music on YouTube. Was getting a hint then. They had this music on YouTube that you could meditate to. But I didn't meditate that day. And I didn't meditate the next day. Nor the next month. But when I was eager for change, let me tell you, I turned on YouTube so fast and watched guided meditation so quick. So quick. Okay? Because I was eager for change. And so with my good friend James, he has to be eager for change. And just like your family members or your friends or whomever, they have to be eager for change, because if they're not eager for change, guess what, honey? They're going to keep on using your ear to tell you what's going wrong in their life, and they're not going to do the work. And so you have to have some boundaries. I don't want to keep hearing all your problems and stuff, because I recommended for you to do certain things and you still won't do them. So therefore that tells me that you don't really want change. Or even if you do want change, you're not ready for it. And I'm not going to force you, but you're not going to keep using my ear to keep telling me about the same thing over and over again. You got to be stern. With that being said, I love you guys. Peace.